Now, should we play this straight through, like, do we record sporadically throughout, or is it? Perfect. So I'm just gonna play this one more time, y'all, and we're gonna record the same exact spot, okay? Here we go, same spot.
There's a kid inside, and I have him with me always.
There's a kid inside, walking down old high school hallways.
There's a kid inside, at a desk, at a dance, in the halls, in the showers.
There's a kid inside to this very day.
And he makes a try for the high pop fly that I fumbled one September.
And she makes a fuss over some A+ that I shouldn't still remember.
And he goes along, getting hurt, getting mad, fighting fights that are over. And unless I'm strong, all my senses are carried away.
I can feel John's hand, his trembling hand, on my old Angora sweater.
I can hear my band, that awful band, only now it sounds much better.
I can see the kid I used to be, on the stage, on the field, on the lunch line.
I can feel her tugging at me. Every time I think I don't care, I blink and she's there again. She's there again. Fighting ancient wrongs, humming old hit songs in my head. Singing, come along, come along, come along for the ride. To a time and place I could not forget if I tried. There again, she's there again. And I never know when the breeze will blow with a rush of old sensations. Why the kid should awake and my heart should ache every time I smell carnations.
Something rings a bell, anything at all. All it takes is the slam of a locker, or the switch from summer to fall.
A change of season seems barely reason, but there he goes again.
She's there again.
Humming his songs, fighting ancient wrongs, humming old hit songs in my head. Singing, come along, come along, come along for the ride. To a time and place I cannot forget if I tried. There she goes again, humming his songs.
There she
He's
goes,
there again. There's a kid inside.
want to sound like a fanatic or anything, but Mary Jo Drennan ruined my senior yearbook, and I will never forgive her for it. On the very first page of the book, she wrote, "Roses are red, violets are blue. If I had your breath, I'd go live in a zoo." She wrote this with a green felt tip pen right on top of the picture of our school. After I read what she wrote, I never let anyone else sign it or even look at it. I just stuck it away in an old bookcase at home, and that was that. Until last week, the mailman handed me this package. Turns out my mother sent me the yearbook because she thought I should have it to show my kids. At first, I was gonna hide it, but then I realized eventually it would just come up again, and something had to be done about it. So, I purchased a green felt tip pen, and I practiced imitating Mary Jo's handwriting. And right under her little poem, I wrote in big letters, "Ha ha, just kidding!" What embarrasses me most isn't what she wrote in my yearbook. It's that I'm 28 years old and I still care.
I learned to count to 10 in French. I learned to cut a frog in two. I learned that showing how you feel can be a deadly thing to do. And the things I learned in high school have been there ever since. The lessons taught, the stuff I thought, the junk I heard and the crap I bought. The things I learned in high school, the parts I learned to play, have made me what I am today. I learned the history of the world. I learned that something equals pi. I learned that giving up is fine as long as no one saw you try. And the things I learned in high school have been there ever since. The feelings taught, the habits caught, the hopes I held and the fears I fought. The things I learned in high school have stuck along the way and made me what I am. Thanks a lot for all the lessons I learned. I picked it up, took it in, got it down on the spot. Thanks a lot to all the parties concerned for the great, well-rounded public education I got. I learned a lot of things a person might be better not to know. A lot of junk I should have gotten rid of long ago. I learned a lot of facts that are no longer even so. But the things I learned in high school are with me all the same. In how I think and how I speak, in where I'm strong and where I'm weak, the playing cute, the acting tough, the nagging doubts, and enough's enough. The things I learned in high school cannot be wished away. They made me what I am today.
I decided the best way to deal with high school was to get rid of the evidence. For starters, there's the old Harper High yearbook. I would just rip pages out of the book and just throw them out. I'm telling you, man, it's a hell of a lot cheaper than therapy.
Cheating. Here's a picture of Monica Ormus, the most popular girl at YHS. And then here's me, Harvey Bellerby, co-chairman of the logger. Just before the final exam in senior algebra, Monica Ormus spoke to me for the very first time. She wanted me to cheat for her. She wanted me to write the answers on a piece of paper and let it fall to the floor. Then she would drop her pencil, pick up the pencil, and the answers with it. She said if I did what she asked, she would let me take her out sometime. This was my one chance, and I only had 1 second to decide. I was in pain, actual pain. I said I couldn't. I didn't say it was wrong or anything. I just said I couldn't. From then on, Monica never spoke to me again. 2 years out of high school, I got stoned one night, right? And I called her up. I said, "This is Harvey Bellerby." She said, "Who?" I said, "Harvey Bellerby from YHS." She went, "Oh, what do you want?" I should have hung up, but I didn't. What I said was, "Well, Monica, I changed my mind."
Second thoughts. Second thoughts about.
Second thoughts about the friend I snubbed.
Second thoughts about the speech I flubbed.
Second thoughts about a creep named Todd. Second thoughts about Denise. Oh God.
Second thoughts about the fight I should have won.
Second thoughts of what I might have said and done while the chance was mine.
If I'd only found the words that night.
If I only had the guts to fight.
If I'd only checked the mic. Who knows?
If I'd only called him back.
Just suppose if I'd gotten in her pants there and then. If I only had the chance, if I only had the chance again. But school is out, there's nothing I can do a thing about. The game is over and there ain't a doubt. The score is fine, or where we stood is where we stand. Time ticks on and finds you talking to yourself in grown-up land. The chance is gone, I can't believe I let it slip right through my hand. If I knew then what I know now, what I would have said was,
Hey, Billy O, I'm sorry about before. I'm sorry I made you sore. You're still my best friend, okay? I'm such a jerk anyway. Forgive me about today.
what I would have done was,
push the mic aside, get my tongue untied, knock him off your feet, and watch my landslide slide. They would have gone, yay, Judy, yay, Judy.
what I should have said was, if you dunk me ever again, I'll bust your freaking head, Todd. God, that would have been beautiful. It would have been.
Marguerite told me you were teed because you were convinced I got the lead, because Becker would never break the heart of his pet. Ha! I got the part 'cause I'm better than you. It would have been beautiful.
It would have been beautiful.
Thought she didn't like me. I swear I thought I knew she didn't like me. She said we were friends, real close friends. She said, friends. I didn't know what she meant, so that was the way it went. If I as good in high school as I am in my second thoughts. Half as good in high school as I am. Half as good in high school as I am in my second thoughts. Half as good in high school as I am in my second thoughts.
They had this thing at my school called Daisy Days, which was the last week of the year, and there was always a Daisy princess chosen from all of the senior girls. On a certain day in June, they would have all of us walk across the stage and say our names into the microphone. This was supposed to be another example of democracy in action. The teachers would write down the names of the 6 prettiest girls, and then we'd all get to vote on them for Daisy Princess. I remember exactly what I wore on Elimination Day. I imagine we all do. But what I remember best, though, is Nancy Dugan. She was the tallest girl in our class, taller than most of the boys even. And while the rest of us paraded across that stage and at least tried to smile as we said our names, she had the guts to go out there and say, "My name is Nancy Dugan, and I decline the nomination."
I didn't win any big awards or prizes. I know winning was the name of the game in high school, and if you couldn't point to a trophy, you were a nobody. Still, there was one day I was in a track meet, and there were 6 guys ahead of me, and somebody from the crowd yelled my name. I only took 3rd that day, but still, just somebody yelling my name has got to be one of the best moments in my life.
I was standing on the 3rd step of the North Staircase, and I even remember the step. God, that's how important it was. When Jack Soloway told me he thought that I was sexy. I mean, we both blushed and I had to run to my next class, but the entire time I just spent it writing the word sexy like over and over again. I mean, it was the most thrilling thing that had ever happened to me. I remember thinking I could just die happy now. No matter what anyone ever said to me, I could just remind myself that Jack Soloway thought that I was sexy.
Once when I was cleaning out my wallet, I found this old snapshot of me and a high school girlfriend. And I decided to throw it away because who needs that kind of thing? Imagine me down on my hands and knees, digging through the garbage at 3 a.m. in the garage. Now imagine the look on my wife's face when she asked me, "What are you doing?"
He asked me over to his house. I wore Suzanne's embroidered blouse. I still remember that night, and nothing really even happened.
Just picture this. It's 3:15, and everybody from the whole school knows what's gonna happen. There are like 100 kids out back in the parking lot just waiting to see me cream Eddie Rondello. The tension is terrific, because everybody knows it's him or me. You understand? I say to him, okay, asshole, you ready?
And I say, you bet I am, you chicken shit, Mick.
See, I take off my shirt, and he takes off his.
Timmy said he'd referee, but where's Timmy? Nobody knows. So I say, screw the referee. Let's get on with it. Kids start backing away, and I come at Doyle like crazy. My first punch is a beauty. Whammo! And the crowd starts roaring, and I'm feeling good, you know? Really, really good.
At first, I let him think he's got me. He goes punching away like the stupid wop he is, using up all his energy in like the first 2 minutes. And I go like, letting on like he's really giving it to me. And the whole time I'm thinking, that's it, Eddie, wear yourself out. After like 2 minutes, he is all done. And except for the fact I got like blood coming out of my ear, I'm fresh as a daisy.
Some girl starts screaming because she sees I clipped him on the ear. And he's kind of staggering around with all his blood all over him, you know? And she starts yelling, stop it, stop it, stop it! And that's when I made my big mistake. I turn around, and in a split second, Doyle grabs me by the knees and topples me over the blacktop and just starts pounding me.
And I go like, bam, 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 bam! You give? You give?
If she hadn't made me turn away.
Say it! What are you? Say it!
Doyle was good. I'll give him that.
And then I got scared all of a sudden. Because I could see Eddie was unconscious. The rest is kind of a blur. Patsy ran up and put her arms around me, I know that. And then Eddie opened his eyes. And I could see he was okay. I mean, thank God. I could have killed him.
I never said I give. That's the thing. I think he respects me for that.
After the fight, of course, I was like a king.
I could have beat him, though. I could have. He knew that, too.
Hey, Eddie. Long time no see, fella.
I had a dream last night where someone found out I never took these courses that were necessary for graduation, and I had to go back to school to make up the work. I sat down at a desk which was way too small for me, but nobody else in the class seemed to notice that I was any different from them. Then Mrs. Delaney, my American Problems teacher, hands out these test booklets. And I look at the cover, and someone has drawn obscene pictures all over it. I don't know what to do. Should I tell Mrs. Delaney and draw attention to myself? Or should I just ignore the pictures? In which case, she'll probably think that I drew them. The pictures are in pencil, see? So I start to erase them. All of these little breasts and penises and stick people doing horrible things to each other. But as soon as I get one part erased, I notice another. And another. Finally, the bell rings and Miss Delaney starts collecting the booklets, and I realize I never even opened mine. I don't even know what the test is about. And what's worse, all of the pictures are still there. I start to tear up the booklet, ripping it like crazy, trying to chew and swallow it all up before she could get to me. Then she's standing over me and she says, "Where's your booklet, James? What have you done with it?" That's as far as it went. I woke up in a cold sweat. I wanted to say, "I ate it, you bitch, I ate it!" but I never talked back to Miss Delaney in my life.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Once upon a time, I believed that you could cover up your pimples with Clearasil and nobody would know that they were there. I believed that trigonometry was going to come in handy someday. I believed that people who violated the dress code were natural-born troublemakers who deserved whatever punishment they got. When I was a sophomore, I believed in the honor system. And when I was a junior, I believed in getting into college. I believed that a woman's virginity was a pearl of great price. I believed that boys lost their respect for a girl if she didn't tell them when to stop. Still, when Jerry Geller was going off to Panama as an exchange student, and I really wanted him to know how I felt about him, and he was so good looking, sweet, and kind of shy. And he said if we both wanted to, it couldn't be wrong. Well, I decided I believed in me.
Used to be on a Saturday night, my two buddies and me, we get high as a kite, and I'm telling you, we were a hell of a sight, drunk as a skunk in May. Never took a lot, just a six-pack of beer, but it worked in a shot, put us right on our ear, and the talking was not what you're likely to hear. Down at the PT frickin' A. Man, oh man, we were something to see. On a half of a can, we were gone as could be. We were made in Japan, my two buddies and me, drinking the night away. La 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 lay. La 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 lay. La ba da 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 ba da la ba da da da. Now I'm halfway through my 32nd year, and I still get thirsty for a can of beer. But I don't go crazy like a kid, don't go bananas the way we did. I can drink all night before it even shows. Now when I get loaded, no one ever knows. Only trouble is it doesn't feel like it used to be. La 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 la.
Take me back to those Saturday nights. I'm telling you, Jack, if they had any flights, I would fly to get to where my life was easy again. I would fly to feel a feeling that was 10 out of 10. I would fly to buy the beer and meet my buddies, and then open a can and chug a lug away.
The thing I remember most about high school is my mother always telling me that it was okay that none of the boys ever asked me out. She said I was a late bloomer. And I remember thinking, oh, well, what if I never bloom? And then one day in the spring of my sophomore year, Ricky Dalton, who was captain of the swim team and had a solo in the Glee Club, he asked me out Saturday night. And I was so happy and nervous and excited. And then, well, I found out why he had asked me. I got a pink slip in homeroom, which meant that I would have to go see the girls' vice principal. And I had never gotten a pink slip before. I mean, I thought that anybody that had gotten one was in deep trouble, and I knew I wasn't in trouble, so I went in second period, and Miss Haskell, she said that there was a picture of me on the boys' cell phones, and was it true? I mean, I started crying. I was so upset. And she just kept screaming at me, "Is it true? Is it true? Is it true?" And I was crying, and then finally I said, "No, it wasn't true." And she said, "Well, that was all right then, but if it ever happened again, I would be suspended." And I thanked her. I thanked her. Anyways, it's high school. You get over those things. You don't forget them, but you get over them. Besides, my mother was right. I was a late bloomer.
Gym class. Anybody remember gym class? You do 400 push-ups in 45 seconds, or some Neanderthal threatens to shove your jock strap down your throat, right? And there's always some phoebe who can't do anything. We had this one kid called Joel the Jelly Roll, who was like the phoebe of all time. Buckowitz, our gym teacher, blew up at him once and told him he was the biggest fuck-up he'd ever seen. Couldn't catch, couldn't throw. He was so fat. How fat was he? He was so fat that when he got benched, nobody else could be. Honest, I mean, this kid was so fat that when you saw him in the showers, you couldn't even tell if he had a prick or not. Want to know how he got his name? One day in the locker rooms when the guy says, "Hey Joel, where's your pecker?" And one of the other guys says, "Here it is," and holds up this jelly roll thing from his lunch. So we all start tossing it around, going, "Joel, Joel, jelly roll, hasn't got a pecker, so he has to have a hole. Joel, Joel, jelly roll." The topper, though, was when Danny shoves the jelly roll in Joel's face and makes him eat it. I nearly fell over from laughing so hard. Every so often I think of stuff like that and I crack up all over again.
The wife hates it when I tell that story. It's not funny, Barry. It's just not funny. You just had to be there, you know? You just had to be there.
I ran to beat the bell with those people every day for 4 years. Raced around the track, measured back to back, lived with them for 4 years. You say goodbye and then you go your separate ways. But time and time again, there they are in the haze. Sometimes it's like they're watching as I go on. Day out, day in, I lose, I win, and somehow I feel I do it for them. Why should I still be bothered? When will the ghosts be gone? How can I feel my life is real when half of the time I do it for them? I wonder what would they think of me now? I wonder how would I measure up now? I wonder even though years have gone by, how far what would they think of me? I wanna know, I wanna know, I wanna know, I wanna know. I sound like a broken record, endlessly spinning on, running my race, my foolish chases, only to find I do it for them, always for them. Looking back over my shoulder for
I'm writing my dissertation on the parameters of social interaction within American adolescent society. My central thesis is this, that the people who gave me grief in high school ought to be canceled.
Rita Morrison once told me that being beautiful was a 24-hour day job, and that sometimes she wished she could be more casual about her appearance. The way that I was.
Oh, here he is. Here he is. Most outstanding senior athlete, Jay Steinhaus. Oh no. I ripped his head off. God, you know he's a used car salesman now. This creep who used to call me Little Miss Tiny Tits. I can't wait to see him again. He'll ask me, "What are you doing now?" And I'll say, "Oh, me? I teach at the university." And then when he tells me he's a used car salesman, that's when I'll say, "Oh, I'm so glad. That's just where a shit like you belongs."
I demand an apology from every single person in my class for not realizing what a great person I was. And what's more, I'm not going to accept the apology. I demand to know what it's like to walk down the hall in a leather sweater and have everybody smile at you. I demand to be student body president. I demand to be cute. I demand to have a full athletic scholarship to the college of my choice. I demand. Oh, hell. I don't want it now. I want it then.
November 30th, 1969. Today I was crowned the homecoming queen and Jeff was the football king. I wore my floor-length formal from the junior prom last spring. Before the game was played, we led a big parade and we had a 50-yard line coronation. All the kids were cheering as we walked out on the field, and there were people taking pictures everywhere. The stands were full to bursting, and the seniors raised a banner, and Jeff pointed to our names up in the air. The marching band was playing, and the kids all threw confetti, and I feel like I still have some in my hair. April 16th, 1973. The carpeting came and so did the rug we bought for the bedroom floor. Jeff really got a bargain with his discount through the store. I love the wall-to-wall. The baby had a ball when the men were here to do the installation. All the kids were cheering as we walked out on the field, and there were people taking pictures everywhere. The stands were full to bursting, and the seniors raised a banner, and Jeff pointed to our names up in the air. The marching band was playing, and the kids all threw confetti, and I feel like I still have some in my hair. August 3rd, 1978. This morning I found a note on the bed. It said, "You're getting fat." I quickly dressed Melinda. I fed the stupid cat. We caught a show at noon, a feature-length cartoon. It's amazing what they do with animation.
so handsome. So, I don't know, just the way I hoped, I guess. Not like a boy dressed up in formal clothes. Like a man.
It was the first good time. The first. We fought afterwards, but it was really beautiful. It was really, really beautiful.
At my high school, the prom had to be canceled because of a bomb scare. I recommended that this be made an annual tradition.
Marianne and I didn't go to the prom. Sometimes I wish we did. She said that it was just a chance for rich kids to show off and that she thought it was stupid. And that was the night that Marianne got pregnant. She says that she's still happy that she didn't go and say, yeah, me too. High school's so long ago. It feels like light years away.
I mean, it really was the happiest night of my life. Don't get me wrong, I'm not complaining or anything. It's just that I know that nothing will ever be as wonderful and scary and romantic as the senior prom.
There are thousands of trumpets and thousands of closets that never get played anymore. Countless trumpets and cases in tucked away places that never parade anymore. There's a clarinet back home at my mother's in a cardboard box like thousands of others. There are saxophones and slide trombones we packed away way back when. And they're never gonna sparkle in the sun again. There are thousands of trumpets and thousands of closets that never get played anymore. Countless trumpets and cases in tucked away places that never parade anymore. There's a big brass band of rusty musicians that at one time played some noisy renditions of the Stars and Stripes. But holy cripes, it's silent all through the land, and there's nothing like the silence of a big brass band. I was there, so was I, going rum-ba-dum-bum, God knows why. I was there, stepping high, those were my white bucks proudly marching by with the band. Where's the band?
to think I've changed a lot since high school. I mean, I've got a family now and responsibilities, but every once in a while somebody comes up to me and says something like, "You're a real cheerleader type, aren't you?" Or, "You must have been a cheerleader when you were in high school." And I always say, "Sure I was." Maybe some of them mean it as a put down, but that's not the way I take it. I take it as a compliment, like they're saying, "I see you got a good, positive kind of outlook." Of course, there's always the dumbos who think it's a big joke to be a cheerleader or a big turn on. One guy even said to me, "I guess you got a lot of practice spreading your legs, didn't you?" Denny, my husband, would have punched him out the minute he heard that. I just walked away. The most fun I had in high school was when Molly Baylor and Chrissy Lindell and I did this routine at the state tournament because the Pirates were about 10 points behind and everyone was real discouraged. So we came from behind and we did Who's Got the Muscle 16 times. I mean, we were basically dead at the end, but everyone just got all charged up, and when the Pirates actually came from behind and actually won, I felt like I really did something and it really meant something. People say to me, "Oh, Jenny, you're just too full of pep. I can't keep up with you." But what I hate to see is people I know down in the dumps all the time, you know? Worry, 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 worry. You know the problem? They just don't know how to get excited about things. Me, well, ever since my operation, I'm just excited to be alive. When Denny brought me home from the hospital, I said to him, "If we can beat cancer, we can beat anything." And you know what he said to me? He gave me this crazy look like, "Who is this crazy woman I'm married to?" And he said, "You really are a cheerleader, aren't you?"
Of the 648 kids in my class, there are only 4 or 5 I still keep in touch with. But sometimes I can't help wondering about the others. Bet Joey Lambert's voice never did change. Whatever happened to Eric Rice, who told me that the human brain stops functioning at age 30? I heard last week Donna Sullivan passed her bar exam. Donna Sullivan! I used to help her out with her homework. Jerry Davis, Charlie Silverman. I know what happened to them. They went to Iraq and we never saw them again. Hell, I can still see them sitting around the pizza place with the rest of us, talking about what we were gonna be.
I always wondered what happened to Johnny De Bernardi. He wasn't a real close friend of mine, but I adored him. I always think of this one time when he came into social studies class with his face painted blue. And Mr. Reichel got all upset and said he'd have to wash it off or he'd be sent home. And Johnny just said, "Am I to understand, Mr. Reichel, that you're discriminating against me because of my color?" Well, we all laughed because we knew Mr. Reichel was a bigot, but nobody'd ever challenged him like that before. Reichel sort of began sputtering and he called us all human garbage. That's what he said, honest. He just walked right out of the classroom and never came back. I adored Johnny De Bernardi. When Sally told me what happened to him, I couldn't believe it. I mean, I thought he'd go into politics or be a lawyer or I don't know. I mean, the last thing I ever expected him to be was a high school teacher. But when you think about it, that's exactly what he ought to be.
There he goes again. She's there again, humming his song, singing come along, come He's there again, for the ride, humming his song, singing come along. So here we are, pinning on our name tags, flashing back on school, acting calm and cool, scared as ever. Here we are. We scan the room, we catch our breath, the heartbeat races. Guess it's now or never. Face the class, fail or pass. God, it's been forever. It's been forever. Here we are.
Oh my God.
Wait. Oh, the breakout room's open. Great. Yes. Awesome. Which one should I join? It's not working. Oh, hi there.
That's Peggy Carstairs. She sat next to me in home ec, and looking for someone I know. That's Warren Daniels. He's the guy who threw up on me in the cafeteria. And there's Madge Piersey. I'm not.
Aren't you going to talk to anyone?
Not to them. As far as I can tell, the only ones who came, well, they're the real drips. Wait a minute. That's Tony Pulaski.
Well, at least there's someone you can talk to.
Are you kidding? Tony Pulaski was student body president. Why would he want to talk to me?
I just bought a new pair of khakis yesterday at Old Navy.
Oh my god, like how much did you get them for?
Like $10. Such a good.
Wow, that's really good.
Seskel's class! You sat up front.
Sure. Yeah. Never forget that guy.
Who?
Seskel.
Oh, never mind. Excuse me, some of my friends are.
Oh, well, maybe I could. We could.
We could join you.
Yeah. No, yeah. You know, like there, you know.
High school all over again, the old fun and games. high school, played out at a table for 10.
I know the guys are in ties and the girls have new names,
But it's high school all over again.
Come back to the land of the kings and the queens. Come back if only to see how you score.
It's time for doing a few of your favorite routines. Yes, it's just like those old days of yore. I think I've seen this flick before.
Excuse me, but I...
Steven?
You remember?
Of course. Still don't talk much?
Yeah.
You were always like that. You know, I had this great crush on you junior year, and you couldn't have ever said more than 3 words to me.
You had a crush on me?
Uh-huh. What's the matter? Steven?
High school all over again. The beast will not die.
We got old cheerleaders doing old cheers.
Just when you thought you were safe, high school says hi.
You forget where you've been all these years when high school appears.
Sorry, Mom. Why did I start singing
It's
on Jessie's
okay.
part? Why
It's
did I do
fine.
that?
It's fine.
Really stop by sometime. I'm sure you'd really like it. But
You know, I always thought you'd go into modeling.
I did for a while, but I wanted to follow my passion, which is literature, and
Nobody's getting any younger, I guess.
it's not really a steady business.
Heard that. Like the suit.
Mm-hmm.
Brooks Brothers.
Great.
Got it in Hong Kong.
A Brooks Brothers suit?
They're cheaper over there. Not that money's an object.
Yeah.
Ever been to Hong Kong?
Nope.
Europe?
Uh-uh.
Well, you got time, right? Never can tell when things start to break for you. But, you know, you really used to be something. You really used to be something.
Welcome back, rah, rah, rah. Welcome back to the high and the low.
Same old tune, la la la. Same old tune we all sang long ago.
Hurry on down, don't put up a fight. Hey, come meet the husbands and wives.
Say, what do you know? They got reruns tonight of the happiest years of our lives.
Got the feeling I've been here before.
All over again, high school.
Got the feeling I've been here before.
All over again, high school.
Got the feeling I've been here before.
All over again, high school.
I've been here before.
Boy recliner in the middle of the kitchen.
I'm just so glad you're divorced.
You're glad.
I didn't want to be the only one. I almost didn't come tonight because I couldn't face everybody saying, "Hey, where's Eddie?"
Oh, that's right. You and Eddie were voted cutest couple, right?
You got it. Cutest couple ever to get married too young.
Well, come on, cheer up. Donald Wilson just told me that you look sensational.
Really? Donald Wilson?
Mm-hmm. And what's more, he is divorced too.
Ooh!
Yeah.
Oh, this is Erica, the woman I'm living with.
Oh,
We're engaged. Judy makes it sound as if.
I understand. I'm old-fashioned myself.
Ray and I go back a long way. We started dating at what? 15?
14. She was the first girl I ever dated. I'll tell you a secret even she doesn't know. She was the first girl I ever kissed.
Well, that certainly.
Sure was a long time ago.
We went to all the dances together.
Really? You used to dance?
Oh, doesn't she still? She was terrific.
I had a terrific partner.
Honestly, Judy, you don't dance anymore?
No, not really, no.
We have other interests.
Well, sure. Sure you do. Listen, say hi to your sister for me.
Okay, yeah, sure.
Get her out on the dance floor sometime, okay?
So these are the kids I went to school with. What'd you think?
I think you should have been voted sexiest.
Well, thank God for that. See that girl?
Uh-huh.
She's who I always wanted to be. She was so pretty and popular and poised.
But wait, that's how I always figured you must have been.
No way. But I almost died trying.
I can just see me at 6 and 17, typical down to my circle pen, piercing my ears with the future nurses club, working like mad to be in. I'm so glad you didn't know me, what a nothing I was then. I'm just glad you didn't know me, I'm glad you didn't know me when.
I'm thankful too that I didn't know you, 'cause that would have meant you knew me. Singing my folk songs or learning to smoke, or panicked at pulling a D. And speaking of fears, I had an erection the whole 4 years.
No kidding.
I'm so glad you didn't know me. I wasn't ready for you then.
Sounds like you were.
I'm just glad you didn't know me. Thank God you didn't know me then.
Picture me peppy but fake as they come, making corsages of juicy fruit gum.
Picture a geek on the edge of his chair, waving his hands in the air. Calling me.
Picture a phony,
Picture how suave I could be,
doing the pony.
passing my brother's ID.
I was the worst,
and I was as bad.
Picture the dates we'd have had. I'm glad you didn't know
Glad
me.
that you weren't around.
And Eisenhower,
What a creep you'd have found.
and good riddance and goodbye.
Goodbye.
Hand me no yearbook to sign, and don't ever ask to see mine. I want no odd lang syne. I'm glad you didn't know me, glad you didn't know me when. 'Cause if you had gone to my school, you'd have never had a prayer. You'd have hated me in high school. I'm glad you weren't there, passing on the stair. Glad you didn't know me, saving all the seats,
Clowning in the bleachers,
pressing all the pleats,
frowning up the teachers,
pushing all the way to graduation day.
Two 3115.
3115. I'm practically blind without my glasses, but I'd be damned if I was going to wear them tonight.
Here's my business card.
Your business card. I forgot we all grow up.
I didn't grow up. I just got older.
Let's not use that word, okay?
You know, it's funny. I didn't come to the first reunion because I felt I hadn't changed enough. Second time around, I thought, how can I go back if I'm not rich and famous?
We're married.
We're glamorous.
But when I got the announcement this time, I thought, what the hell? The worst thing about high school was thinking you were in some kind of contest all the time. But I mean, what's the contest? All I know is I wouldn't have missed seeing you guys again for anything.
I drove by my old high school this afternoon to watch the kids play baseball in the south field. They seem so young. Hardly like high school kids at all.
I've been watching for about 5 minutes before I realized the old guy coaching the team, it was Mr. Buckowitz, my phys ed teacher from way back in freshman year.
Back then, I was fat. Real fat. And about a foot shorter than I am now. The guys used to call me Joel the Jelly Roll.
Mr. Buckowitz once told the class that I was the most uncoordinated kid he'd ever taught in his years of gym teaching.
I went home that day and I took a razor blade out of the medicine cabinet and I sat on the edge of the bathtub for 3 hours. I remember thinking, I can't even kill myself. And I could just hear Buckowitz and all the others laughing.
But there I was, playing on Southfield. I wanted to hate him again the way I hated him when I was 14.
I wanted to walk up to him and say, I know what you are. Don't think I've forgotten what you did to me.
But he was just this little man. So much smaller and so much older than I remember him. He must be about ready to retire now. And besides, I don't hate him anymore.
I don't have to. I'm not 14 anymore. I don't have to obey him. And I'm not Joel the Jelly Roll. Jesus Christ.
Sometimes when I think back, all I can think is,
I made it.
I made it.
I made it.
Describe this experience in one word.
One word to describe this experience.
If I had to describe this experience in
one word, I would probably say unique.
Empowering.
Cathartic.
Unique.
The show was...
Whew. Miracle.
The word different.
It'd probably be different.
Different.
I'd say special. I'd say it was special.
Considering we made this show possible during a pandemic.
It got done in COVID.
Yeah, I use that word because what we did this year was a lot different than every other year.
Different than, I guess, what any of us have ever done before.
It was just really amazing to be a part of it, to be a part of something new and exciting like this.
And I'm so glad that I got to be a part of it.
Hello, I'm Sneha Verghese.
Hi, my name is Noah Massey.
Serena Richmond.
Hi, I'm Kiera Gordon.
Matthew Boji, I'm a sophomore at Rochelle High School.
I'm a senior.
I am a freshman, so I'm in 9th grade, and I was a part of the cast.
Is there life after high school?
This musical is about a bunch of adults reflecting back on their time in high school.
Like 20 years on, because there has been a reunion.
Thinking about their regrets and their happy times and how they've grown as a person, what they miss about high school pretty much.
Because we all know that high school is a very unique and transitional phase in our life and can have a lot of pros and cons. Lots of pros and cons in there.
You're just missing that, missing the youth. It's definitely a very nostalgic type of show.
I feel that being a freshman and taking part in this was a really great experience because I just got to be hands-on with so many things. I'm so happy that I was able to take part in not only the dancing but also the acting and singing. I'm a part of Pave Dance, so I already knew that I really wanted to be one of the dancers, but I also really love especially acting but as well singing. Out of the entire show, my favorite dance